like, so what kind of drew you to wanting to teach? What was that like? Was there just something in you, or was it just a decision that you thought would be, easy, or, you know?
Well, it's not easy. But what I really liked being able to teach poetry, especially to kids who just thought it was lame and not worth their time. But then I give them T.S. Eliot's The Wasteland and take them through it with all of the illusions and things for 3 days. I go through it in detail about how this line refers to this particular thing. And when I'm done with it, the kids are like, I had no idea poetry was capable of that. And that's what I just really like, showing them something completely new, and that there are different ways to think about stuff. And maybe some of their preconceptions are, ill-informed. I'm here to help you out with that.
Well, yeah, I love that. I love when teachers can like bring something, a fresh perspective on things that, like you said, poetry. People are like, poetry, but then you're like, no, there's some really good poetry, and like you said, you break it down for them, and and that can be an eye opener, and get any way you can get kids into reading more is always a win.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Did you find that teaching like sharpened your writing skills?
It informed some of my, I guess, populated a little bit of the Iron Druid, because I would, I'd have to teach mythology as part of my English teacher's duties. So I was already very familiar with the Greco-Roman stuff and a little bit of the Norse stuff from things that I was needing to teach. And then I found it interesting, and then started branching out into, other pantheons, and it was a blast. So, but in terms of, did it inform my actual writing? No, I don't think so. In fact, it degraded my writing a little bit, because you read so many incorrect papers, it gets lodged in your brain. And then you actually, like, teachers actually, over time, start to lose the ability to spell as well as when they were younger, because they see incorrect spelling so often, they start to question, wait a minute, is that how that gets spelled? It just slows you down. So,
wow. Yeah, I actually never thought about it like that.
Yeah,
that's an interesting view. It's like, I guess, if you think about it for a minute, you like, you're just seeing people spell stuff wrong all day long, and you're like trying to keep it up, but then it'll soak into your brain. I can see that.
Yeah, repetition. Yeah, it can get to you over time. So
when did you first like send out, because the Iron Druid was that the first thing you've sent out to publishers? Or
no,
did you have other stuff?
Yeah, I had other stuff. The Iron Druid was Hounded, the first book of the Iron Druid Chronicles, was the third book that I wrote, but the first one to get published. So the other two never really got published and will never see the light of day. They're training wheels, you know what I mean? Those are starter novels that I learned a lot. One, I learned that I can finish writing a novel. Huge
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah. And then once you do that, though, you have the confidence that you could do it again and hopefully do it better. So
better every time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you're hoping for. So, I got faster and better, and, all the other words to that Daft Punk song, Stronger, Faster. Yeah.
So what has changed in your writing process? Because I've heard other authors, I'm a self-pub author myself, but I know some other ones who have really hit it big, and they're like, well, I actually don't write too much more than I did. It's just there's not much stress now that I'm full-time. So like, what was your writing process while you were teaching versus now?
Well, while I was teaching, I had to fit it in, obviously, around my day job. And so I was not watching a lot of TV. I would, have dinner, and then I would give myself a couple of hours to write, and then I would have to put that away, and then I'd have to grade papers or plan or both, that kind of a thing. So that's kind of what I was following there. And then, of course, you get some uninterrupted time to write when you have school breaks. So in summers, right? So those helped as well. But now I don't write more. than I did back then. I just it takes me a little bit longer because now I'm so conscious of things that I am doing wrong or whatever. I'll go and edit to
Self-editing.
Yeah, I mean, just because you level up a little bit, you learn things, and then every time you learn something for the next book, now you have that additional thing that you're worrying about while you're writing.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it winds up slowing you down a tiny bit over time. So that's okay though. I still write fairly consistently from day to day, and get marching on towards those deadlines.
So are you kind of are you a like wake up in the morning like Stephen King where he like wakes up, tries to get his 6 pages and then goes about his day, or like Jim Butcher's more of a like he has 3 writing sessions in the day? Like what's your process?
I don't have one because one of the reasons I like teaching is that no 2 days are the same. I get bored.
Yeah.
Do the same thing over and over again. But I also find that if I sit in the same spot or if I do the same times or something like that, eventually I start not being as productive. And so I need to be constantly stimulated. I'm in a new space, a new place, a new time, whatever. And that winds up keeping the electricity firing in my brain, I guess. So I don't have a routine. Every day is different. And some days I do write early in the morning, and sometimes it's late at night. And yeah, it just depends. So
Yeah, I can definitely feel that because like I tell people I write most of my books and everything on my phone because I like to be moving around, walking,
yeah,
or doing multiple, like you said, doing multiple things. Other things because like some people are like, what? You're not just sitting down in your office or anything? And I'm just like, yeah. When I do that, it doesn't flow. Like I don't feel like like you said, you got to have multiple things kind of stimulating your brain, and then the ideas flow from there.
Yeah, I mean, some people sitting in the office works well. So yeah, whatever works, whatever gets you to the end, it's all valid. It's all good. I just, yeah, I'm a little weird in the sense that no 2 days are the same. I have no schedule.
So do you like to go and write at locations and stuff like that, or do you like researching like certain things, certain streets, make sure you got your P's and Q's and all that?
Yeah, I do like to do that. On-site research is fantastic. In fact, I was just talking yesterday about how I need to go to Syracuse for a thing that I'm doing. There's a restaurant that I wish to, write correctly, just like the way I did Rula Bula in the Iron Druid Chronicles.
Yeah.
Like when you walk in, is there a hostess stand and they seat you, or do you just walk in and seat yourself? This is a very basic thing about the experience of a restaurant that, if you get it wrong, anybody who's been there is going to be instantly, cued into the fact that you've never walked in. So, but that's also something you can't find online. You have no idea. so you have to go and check places out if you want to be accurate. And so yeah, I'm gonna probably head down to Syracuse at some point this summer and check it out.
Yeah, that's like I feel the same way. I do so much research on like certain things, like I want to make sure that this street looks right when he's going down this path and stuff. And like you said, most people may not notice it, but like I think it's worthwhile and cool if someone from the area would be like, oh yeah, he knew what he was talking about. Like that's true,
Yeah, we used to have a little fight with a copy editor about how to spell Palo Verde. Palo Verde in whatever dictionary they were using is one word, but in Arizona it is always 2 words, and it really literally means green stick. So yeah, but Palo Verde is a nuclear power plant. It is a street name. It is a school name. It is like everywhere, and it's always 2 words. So I'm like, I don't care what your dictionary says.
That's not the way it is.
Everybody in Arizona will make fun of me if it comes out as 1 word. So
oh yeah. Wouldn't you feel bad? You're like, I'm from here. I know. I'm telling you, people, I knew better.
Yeah. So they relented. And let me spell it the way I wanted to, which is the way Arizona spells it for everything that they do.